Well, hello. Welcome back to the shop here. As you can see, it's still a ridiculously big mess from the Mustang project. I got some cleaning to do, but I got a couple other little projects I need to knock out first. So figured it's been a while since I made a movie, so we'll knock one up quick, get it on the YouTube before they forget about me. But yeah, so we're working on a 2001 Polaris Magnum 325 4x4 and just doing a basic service on it. Oil change, filter, and diff oil, chain case oil, stuff like that. So just bear with me for a few and we'll get going. I changed the oil in it already. Polaris is pretty cool about the way that they do their oil and filter and everything. Like they still an oil change kit, and this particular one takes 1.9 quarts because, you know, God forbid you made it take that extra 0.1 quart. But yeah, they sell it, you know, filter, oil, it's this stuff here, full synthetic, and some other language I don't know, 4-cycle engine oil. I mean, they make it simple. It's I'm sure other manufacturers do it, but I've dealt quite a bit with Polaris, and it's just pretty cool how they do everything, and everything's pretty much the same. Like, here's the angle drive fluid. This is for the front and rear diff. This is gear case lubricant for the chain case, and this is hub oil because they have the electric 4-wheel drive hubs, these guys here, which there's a little Allen screw in there, which hopefully it'll come out. If not, that's really gonna suck for me. But yeah, the neighbor's 4-wheeler, and he's had it for a while, hasn't really done much to it. Figured that he ought to at least give it a quick tune-up, so that's what we're doing. The oil filter for it is right down here. The oil plug obviously is right up in the middle. You got to be careful because you got your transmission back here and your motor's up here. So if you were to, you know, drain your tranny oil, not even know about it, and then you go to fill her up with motor oil, you're gonna have her too full and she ain't gonna be happy. So you just gotta be careful. The drain is right up in the bottom. It's nice, you don't have to take the skid plate off. I had a Polaris Scrambler 500 and that was kind of a pain. You had to take skid plate off, but like I said, I did the oil change already. Probably tackle the chain case next, and then tackle the diffs. Got to come up with a master cylinder for it. He got a little overzealous and piled it into a tree and busted that. That's an expensive piece right there. But yeah, we'll just keep cracking away, and every time I see something or think of something, I will try and video it, and we'll keep going. So here on the front diff, the fill is right there next to the vent. It's just a small bolt, 7/16. That's another cool thing about Polaris is they use American fasteners for like 99% of everything. There's a couple metrics that I found over the years, but your fill's right there. The drain is right up in the bottom and the middle. Again, they're 7/16 there. It takes 5 ounces of the angle drive fluid, which is going to be a real bitch to measure that out. But if you get yourself one of these pumps, they're like $10, $12 from any parts store. This one here, anytime I drive my Duramax, I usually have to stop every 10 minutes and refill the transfer case, it seems. So this definitely makes that process easy. That'll be in an upcoming video rebuilding that. But yeah, every pump is 1 ounce, so I figure if I give it 5, maybe 6 pumps, she should be good to go. I drained the rear diff. The drain for it's over on the side. You probably should take this skid plate off so it drains out better. I didn't. I'll just wipe the oil out and it might drip for a little bit, but they say that the rear diff holds 10 ounces. So we'll use our fancy pump here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 9, 10, 10. That extra squirt or two ain't gonna hurt it any. That way you just make sure. I'd rather have it just a tad too full than not enough. And then obviously here's your fill plug. So that's the rear diff. Takes 10 ounces. And I'm telling you, these pumps are handy. They are very handy for the $10 that they cost. Good thing they're cheap, because you'll break them. This is the second one I've had, but they're pretty handy. So now we'll get onto the chain case. I keep calling this a chain case. I don't know if it's got a chain in it or not. A lot of the other ones, like snowmobiles, whatever, have a chain in them. They call them a chain case. So I'm an idiot. I don't know what it's called. Could be a chain case, could be a gear case. Don't really matter. But the drain for it is on the bottom. There's no way I could show you. It's on the bottom. There's two bolts right side by side, and it's on the front. It goes in this way on the bottom. It's next to one of those bolts, the bolts that bolt this nose cone piece on there. There's a bolt, one of those bolts right next to it. It's right in front of that. You have to use a 7/16 wrench. I use a ratchet wrench. Just a little heads up on that. It's a good idea to take a good look at the drain plugs. Every one of the drain plugs on this thing had a magnet on it. There's a lot of shit stuck to that one. I don't think there's no big chunks. It's all just normal wear stuff, and who knows if this has ever been changed. But good idea to wipe them off when you stick them back in there. I mean, who wants to stick that back in there? And there's the fill for the transmission, is what they call it in the book. So I was an idiot calling it a chain case and a gear case. It's a transmission, but it takes, according to the book, it takes 13.5 ounces. I gave it probably 15-16 squirts. Like I said, I'd rather have it have a little bit much, and if I had the factory service manual in front of me, I would believe it. But you know, I don't know if you believe what you read on the internet, but I gave it a little extra. But there's your fill. Like I said before, the drain's on the bottom right there. Uses the Polaris transmission fluid. Then the front hubs, there's just a screw, which of course it's right at the bottom now. Takes 3/16 Allen, and you obviously you take the plug out, put it at the 6 o'clock position to drain it, and then what I usually do, put the plug all the way to the top, 12 o'clock position, and I fill it right up, and then it's supposed to be at the 4 or the 8 o'clock position, which gives it enough in there. A little extra ain't gonna hurt it. My Scrambler 500 that I had, you had to just about fill them right up, because the 4-wheel drive would quit working, and then you had to like just about fill them up. But so how way we always ran that one. But yeah, you put it at the 4 o'clock position, 8 o'clock position. That'll drain out any of the extra. Call her a day. And that concludes the service on our 2001 Polaris Magnum 325. There's grease fittings on all the U-joints. You just have to keep rolling it back and forth till you can get the U-joints in this place where you can get the grease gun to stay on them. They're kind of a bear, but it's cool. Polaris gives you the option to grease stuff, which, you know, maybe it's because maybe Polaris sucks and they need to be greased and the other, you know, name brand stuff doesn't. I don't know, but they got grease fittings, so you might as well grease them. The old adage. There was never a man that ever greased himself into poverty. Pretty much that's it. Clean everything up. You know, spilled oil all over the front because I'm a slob. Check the tire pressure for him. He's gonna have to put a battery in it. He says it's got a parasitic draw. I think the battery's just shot. But anyways, there'll be some more content coming. Probably not a whole lot more Mustang content for a while, but get this project, and got another project over here behind me that I've had for where you can see it. This 85 XR200, which another buddy of mine's, which I've had that for way too long. Corey, if you're watching, I'm working on it. Get that knocked out, and then we get this Bronco in here and start tearing into that. But anyways, as always, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.